There he is, John Rossman.
We need to go get hay at the neighbors.
Homesteader. He's already given me chores to do. Okay, so we're getting some hay from the neighbors so that we can make good bedding for the sow.
Yeah, she's doing 2 weeks.
She's doing 2 weeks. What's the matter with this chicken?
Well, she wants to lay her egg and we're in her space.
Oh. So upset. So we're getting some older hay to put down for the sow.
So I have a sow that I had AI'd back in the end of March. And this is called a farrowing pen. And you can see it's tapered towards the back. And the idea is that it gives a space towards the back where the piglets can get out of the way of the mother.
So she doesn't roll over.
So she doesn't lay on them.
Uh-huh.
So this took me about a day and a half to build all by myself. I used all rough cut, full diameter, or full dimension hemlock that we harvested off the hill here. But Steve and I are going to work on this today. I made it big enough so that it'll handle 8 full-size pigs pretty comfortably. So we're going to go ahead here after we get this bedding put down. We're going to set up some fence. We're going to get this sow moved up in here, and this is going to be her permanent spot till she has her babies, and then I'll probably leave her in here until she turns over this whole entire garden.
Which would be good to get rid of all the weeds that are in here.
Yeah, so I made the mistake of a guy gave me some straw, and it was all rotten stuff, and
full of seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
whole thing didn't have weeds in it, and the straw was full of this meadow thistle seed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But those pigs they love to eat roots, and they'll bore down in there. Those roots on these thistles, I dug them up. They're 12 to 16 inches long, depending on the plant. But they'll dig down in there and they'll eat all those roots and turn all this over, and hopefully by next year I can put this back into good use.
Okay, so we're just going to make some bedding back in there.
Yep. So we're going to put about 3 or 4 bales of straw in here, or hay rather, because that's what I have. That's one thing about homesteading: you use what you got and you make do. Use it up, wear it out. Use what you got or do without.
Well, it's downright cozy in there.
Dude, you could live in that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Except for the holes in the roof, but we're going to fix them too. Yeah, if you found that in the woods, you'd be like, that's right.
Well, better than a tent.
Yeah. But we'll save this one for another day.
Now this fence, you got hog wire. This
Yeah.
is all chain link, so that's pretty solid. But the hog wire, you have to do something down at the bottom to keep her from rooting out underneath it.
Well, if you see where I weed whacked around the outside, I'm going to run 2 strands of electric.
Oh, to keep her away from it.
To keep her away from it, because I don't want her up here in my raspberries.
Yep.
So I'm going to eventually put electric up here, but that's a couple things down on the list here.
Okay.
So
this is a pretty nice little area. And then you're going to throw a little feed in here too, right?
yeah, and I haven't fed her yet today, so I'm hoping that'll help me coax her over here, because she's going to be good and hungry by the time we get to her. So she should follow me with the food bucket. Just right up.
She'll just walk with you.
Yeah, for the most part. The hardest part is getting them to cross the electric fence, because once they learn where that is,
Even when it's down.
yeah, they don't want to
go.
cross it.
Yeah.
That's why Joel Salton, well, he makes pallet gates between all his
Right.
pig areas. That way they know when the pallets are open, they just blow right through them. Well, I just haven't got to that point yet, but I'm getting there. Maybe next year. Well, come here. Yeah, see, she made 2 more wallows. Hey, hey, it's okay. It's
He's all
okay.
excited.
It's all right. Yeah. You're okay. I know. He smells funny. Huh? He smells funny. Yeah. I know. So I've been checking her teats every day just to make sure she's not in milk. Hey. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Hey. It's okay. I know. It's all right. It's okay. She's hungry. Hey, easy.
Yeah, I think she'll follow you anywhere you're going with some grain.
Well, she's, I'm gonna give her some corn here.
Just to shut her up for a minute.
Well, yeah, it's not a lot of food, but it'll give her something to chew on.
Now the hogs how many hogs did you have over here that you slaughtered?
6.
So I would have to say that using the hogs to get rid of the stilt grass kind of worked.
Yeah, and the more you run them through, the more you'll get.
Now there's still stilt grass coming back, but it's nowhere near what it was. So all we need really is some tons of seed to replace it with. There's some cherry trees here that popped up, raspberry, Virginia creeper. Yeah, it really diversified the ground here and what's growing. There's a hickory or an ash. What is that? Ash tree. So there's some doggone there's deer tongue, but look at what's in there. Mile a minute weed, not good. But it kind of looked like that last year, and the hogs ate it all. And John ate the hogs.
Yeah, I did not have her down in that ditch. That's all like native stuff.
Yeah, they've got this. Is this all from her? All this rooting?
Yes.
Boy, she really turned things over.
Yeah, she's been in there probably 2 months though.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about it is she's pretty much cleared a lot of stuff out of here that now I don't have to. So when I bring the tractor, like this big pile of stuff, I'll just push all this stuff towards the middle.
Well, you can see what you're doing now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And keep pushing it towards the middle and clearing it from the outside in.
Mm-hmm. John threw a piece of jewel weed in there. I think she likes it.
She loves that stuff. All right.
She got all that corn already.
Yep. I said that's another nice thing about pigs is once they learn their boundaries, they don't really test it much. And it doesn't take anything to raise one pig. Like you could raise one pig in your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
So roughly it takes about say 50 pounds of feed per every 2 to 3 weeks for a full grown hog. That's $20. So you might spend maybe $20 to $30 a month for hog feed.
Mm-hmm.
But then a year later you have a 400-pound hog that you're going to have 350 pounds of meat off of.
But by then it's a pet and you don't want to kill it.
Well, yeah, you gotta.
That's a whole nother story.
You gotta have the right mentality. Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to go petting it and stuff. So about 400 pounds a year is what you get.
Yeah, if you would go, most
each hog.
of your market hogs are about 6 to 8 months old, because they only raise them up to roughly around 230 to 250 pounds, and you can easily do that, especially in confinement.
And
in
then
6 to 8 months.
the quality of the meat doesn't really go down as they get bigger.
No, and I don't like my whole family when we butcher. I don't like butchering a hog anything less than 300 pounds. To me, I think once they actually hit that 300 pound mark, they marble up better, and the meat's more juicy and.
Well, your hogs, they're nothing like the store-bought hogs.
No.
Because you feed them almost all natural forage, non-GMO, organic grain, stuff like that.
Yeah, if I can get it, which right now
it's hard to get.
Yeah.
And then you've been feeding them the pumice from a juice company.
Yes. Now since I haven't been giving that to her lately, she hasn't been eating it, and I don't know if that's because that's not what she needs, and she's eating, Forbes and stuff like that. Could be, I don't know, but she'll go through these cycles where she won't even touch it.
She's going for the high protein stuff right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. She probably is, especially carrying the babies. Yeah, so I don't know why they do it.
Well, they know what they need, right?
Yeah, animals know what they need.
Just like deer.
Yeah.
So you're putting these about what?
10 steps.
10 steps. And then between that and the chain link, that's plenty to keep her in.
Yeah, and I'm not worried at all about her. The reason I'm doing it inside this chain link is because of the babies. Because once they get big enough to venture out, they'll start wandering, and I don't really have the setup to keep the babies in without using like the electric goat fence or whatever. Unfortunately, I got to use that to guard my sweet corn. So that's just how it's going to be.
Now you're going to put these down low, right? For the babies?
I'll start them out about 6 to 8 inches off the ground, and as she roots, she'll root dirt up against it, and then I'll just keep raising it up.
Okay. So you have to keep an eye on your fence, because once they get out, they can go wild, and then you got feral hogs.
Yeah, I've had them get out plenty of times. Most of the time,
they come back to where the easy food is.
Yeah, and the younger ones are more problems than the bigger they get, the easier they are, because they'll just hang around because they know every day at a certain time you bring them food. So they'll just hang in that area.
I see.
Oh, that's not going to work. Yeah, that one's about toast. It's all right for now. But...
those are pretty nice.
Well, they're cheap too. That's what I like. Those steaks that Greg Judy uses, I think they're made by Bauer or something, or like a blue steak, and they have the foot peg and stuff on them, and they're plastic. They're really nice, but they're
flimsy.
They're $5 a piece.
Yeah. And you got this rebar for nothing, right?
Yeah. And these things are like 25 cents. So I got 50 cents in this whole thing, and a little bit of time cutting them.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're fencing out the raspberries.
Yeah, I don't want the pigs eating. Now, these raspberries are called Royal Purples, and you can get them at Stark's just about anywhere. But the way I understand it, so they're a cross between a domestic red and a wild black raspberry. These things outproduce anything, and I've had up to 300 raspberry plants at one point. They outproduce them, they have more vigor, and I think that's why, because it's a hybrid and they have that hybrid vigor to them, they just go crazy. So I've just ended up, this is all I'll plant now. I won't plant anything else.
Yeah, I'll have to get me some. Because I think that's the one thing I could grow on my place that won't die on me.
Yes, I will absolutely dig some up for you. Same thing with strawberries. Listen, I'm going to throw away probably 1,000 strawberry plants this fall.
Yeah.
Look how wide my strawberry, I mean, it's 12 feet wide over there at the end of the garden. There's too many.
Yeah, they just went nuts over there. Yeah, I mean, I could transplant some. Yeah, you didn't even see me, and then all of a sudden.
Come on. Ready?
You know, he'll never stop bringing that back to you.
I know.
Junior taking out English sparrows. What kind of air gun is that?
I believe it's a Benjamin Marauder in a 25 caliber.
Subscribers he has 40.
1,600.
Hey,
1,600.
okay, I know. You're fine.
Him or me?
Him.
I have 1,600. I don't know what John
I
has.
have like 2.
No. I know me and Nate are subscribed. And
Well,
Benny.
I haven't. Hey, you're fine. I haven't made any videos in so long. I'm not sure what the crap I did here. Now she's not gonna want to cross. She won't walk over it, but she'll go under it. Come on, Red. Here. Come on. Come on. I know, you're hungry. Come on. Here.
Well, she's following the food right now, as long as she keeps doing that.
I'll just block the back of
On
the
the
fence.
side here, trying to, just in case she keeps doing it. Sorry about that.
What do you do if you run out of food in your tray? And we just chase her?
Walk faster.
That's why we brought Colton with. We're just gonna chop an arm off.
There you go.
I know she's hungry. Wait, Pam. Come on, man.
Once we're in here, grab this, pull it around, just in case she decides to turn around.
That's all I can say. 1 second.
And the reason I'm putting that down is because my back needs a
I was
break.
gonna say I can feel it in your back just while I'm watching.
Come on. Now I've done this before and she's actually ripped the pan out of my hand, so hopefully she won't do that.
Next time we can drill a hole in there and put kind of stout legs that don't go too far.
How come Junior isn't dragging the...
Well, I feed her every day.
Oh,
so
she's used to you?
Yeah.
How many babies is she having?
You don't know.
I'm gonna guess 2 or 3.
More than that.
Jay, go get that fencer unhooked and get it up
Probably
here.
8 to 12,
Somebody
I would say.
8 to 12.
Yeah.
Hey, Colton, go with him. Get that fencer unhooked and get it up here. That way, when she has her babies,
You pet her a lot?
I pet her a lot. That way, when she has her babies, she's used to me touching her.
Mm-hmm.
So, come on, time to move. Now, you never know what you're going to get as far as how protective she's going to be. But I'm just hoping she'll at least tolerate me.
Mm-hmm.
At least she won't be shy to the touch.
Yeah.
You know, she's used to it.
And this is only half of her food, so she's only ate probably a quarter what she normally does. So she's still hungry. Take her in. Come on.
You want me to pull up on that?
Well, I'm going to try and just walk her.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
There we go. Now we can put this down. Here, wrap up the top.
Man, I am loving this. Ants are killing me.
I see how Jay, he gave you the heavy part.
It's okay.
This is bad for the YouTube channel. I'm weak.
It's alright.
You're okay.
There's nothing light about a car battery.
You're okay. What's in this battery? Like, what? Oh, yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah. Remember the first time I picked up a bucket of lead?
Holy cow.
Now you need a certain amount underground,
Yeah.
depending on how many feet of wire you have out.
Yep.
John, why do you have the 2 grounds?
It's just redundancy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, turn it on. Don't touch it.
Point it towards the south.
Make sure it works. Don't touch it.
No, I am not.
Put your tongue on that wire. See what happens.
No, thank you.
This thing is 8,000
Pretty bad.
volts.
Yeah.
And she's going to walk that wire and make note of where it is. She already knows not to touch it. Okay, so stake the water down so she doesn't flip it over.
Yeah, because that side has a little step on it, and sometimes she uses it, sometimes she don't, but she always goes to the side that has the step on it. So when she comes in to root, she almost always roots from that side. So that's why it put the rebar in there, and then she can't flip it over.
I see.
But as hot as it is today, like I'm gonna have to make her a walla, and she'll keep working it up, but I'll make her a wet spot, and she'll make her own walla, and that way she can cool down.
Just make the ground wet and she'll start rooting in it.
Yep, she'll dig a little hole, and then that'll be her spot.
Okay.
Pigs love water.
Is that too cold?
Huh?
Maybe it's too cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
I would spray ours down too in the summertime. Just take the garden hose.
AI of this pig, how do you know it's pregnant?
Yeah. Well, so they go in the cycle. They cycle once a month, just like a human does, a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you AI them, and you mark it on a calendar, and then you watch for them to come back into heat. And so if they come back in, they didn't take, and if they don't, they're settled.
And how do you check to see if they're in heat?
Well, they.
Come on, give us the gory details.
Well, they're just like a human, really. So what happens is their vulva will swell up,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll have, most of the time, they'll have a little bit of discharge.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep an eye on it, and they get cranky. Her especially, when she was in heat, she would come up and she was constantly fussing, and she'd like nuzzle you and stuff. And when they're ready to be bred, you can actually sit right on their back, and they'll
put up with it.
They'll stand. They call it standing. They'll be standing heat. They'll stand for you, and so you can AI.
But you don't do it, John.
Well, I'm not gonna. Right, because I watched a video the other day, and the guy said, "Well, they'll stand so you can breed them." Well, you're not breeding them.
Let me rephrase that.
You're AIing them.
Now,
That's another subject.
then you know when she's about to give, when there's milk in there, and you could squeeze a little milk.
Yeah, so I check her teats every day and make sure that there's no milk in them. The guy from Sheridan Park Farms said that when you can squeeze milk out of their teats, they will deliver within 24 hours.
That's amazing.
And almost always, he said, they almost always have them after midnight.
Is that right?
Yep.
In the middle of the night. Cool. Well, there you have it. Pig moving 101. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I really learned a lot. The next video, we're going to talk about raising beef cows. John's got 3 beef cows on his farm right now, and I'm going to get a calf hopefully in the fall. Now, grass-fed beef, as you know, is way more healthy, and it's a lot kinder to the animals to raise them on pasture. And we're going to talk about raising these animals, how to move them around the pasture, what they eat, how much pasture you need, things like that. So subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video. And don't forget, if you want to look into buying land in Pennsylvania, give me a call. All right, see you soon.